I'm Chris Harrison and welcome to another video. In today's video I want to talk about the truth about talk therapy. So let's begin with the basics. What is talk therapy? It's just that. You sit and you talk about your problems. You go weekly, monthly, whenever it is, and talk about what you think is going on. And there's many forms of this, and in theory they're all good ideas, but these things are run by systems, and these systems are run by people, and sometimes these people aren't what's best for the system, and it's not best for the therapy, and it becomes that they kill it basically. In the UK, that is what's happened with our NHS system. And I always say that no therapy is better than shit therapy. I stand by that, because a lot of my clients have come to me having spent years and years and years on other therapies and having tablets thrown at them and all this, and it's done no help whatsoever. And they've come to me and I want to give them something different. And I've developed something different. I am a million miles away from what you think a therapist is. A lot of people have this image of a therapist. You go into a pale room with a couch and you sit there and a bloke in a suit and a white coat, whatever, and they got a notepad and they're jotting down all this while you're sat there pouring it out and whatever and whatever. Yeah, that's the case for a lot of talk therapies. Not the case for me. But what's the benefits of talk therapy? Well, if we take out the system cocking it up, if we take out a lot of therapists are burnt out themselves because they have to see so many people a week that they just can't handle it. And when we talk about our problems, that's words so we can communicate with other people. So now these therapists absorbing your shit, and just because you're talking about it doesn't mean it's going to help. Well, I'll get on to that in next. So the benefits of talk therapy, I believe, and again we go back to when we were hunter-gatherers and was in that tribe, you'd have done something that day that would have caused great anxiety, great depression maybe. You know, you've had a battle with a neighbouring tribe, people in the village are now dead, you've been out hunting, you haven't got anything to eat, or you have got something to eat. But either way, at the end of the day, the whole tribe would have all sat round, bounced ideas off each other, and come up with a solution to the problem. Tomorrow's a new day, you get up, and now as a team, you go out there and tackle this solution. Yesterday we couldn't get no food. How are we going to get food? We're going to walk further today. We're going to walk miles further today, but we're going to do it in teams. And someone's going to find some food from somewhere. And that's how we used to work, and that's how I believe talking therapy worked in that way. We don't live like that no more, do we? I mean, do we even mingle with the community we're in? No, we don't, not really. I suppose I do by doing this, but right now I'm talking into a camera, you're watching this and you're getting my words, but I'm not getting anything back from you because it's a video, you know? But by talking about it and coming up with a solution, brilliant. But the big disadvantage there is if you're just talking about it, it's going to make you worse. You're just going to talk about it and there's no solution to your problem. There's no plan of action put in place. There's no strategy in place. It's going to make you worse. Why is it going to make you worse? Because we have no choice but to picture images of the label. So words are labels, right? So whatever you do now, don't picture a big red apple in your head. It's a nice looking apple that you just thought about there, isn't it? Don't imagine that apple now turning into a big bus. Nice bus there now, isn't it? And in fact, it might have just been as quick as that. The image might still be sat there. But that's, you only know that an apple's an apple and a bus is a bus because we've put those labels to that item, that object. When that label is spoken, it makes the image, so you know when you see this object, you know what it is. And it happens just in less time than that. What happens then is the brain comes up with ways to make you survive. That's all thanks to the amygdala, the hypothalamus and the hippocampus working together as one. And it should be. But what if something's happened and it's harmed us? And it's harmed us in a way that when we even now think about it, we relive it. We have that pain, shame, guilt, frustration linked now to that image. You're sat now in somebody's office, a stranger's office, so you've got the anxiety of, I'm now about to talk about this hurtful thing that I'm embarrassed about, I'm ashamed about, I feel guilt about, to this stranger who's going to basically, I'll say the word judge, but not judge in a bad way. The job of a therapist is, my opinion, it should be everyone's opinion, to get a client from A to B when they can't see the bridge to cross over. Either give them a bridge or help them build the fucker, right? That is what a therapist should do. We are nothing but tools to get you from A to B. And then help you then as you work your way to C, D, E, F, so on and so on. But what if we get from A, so we're in our burnt out state, we've got a problem, we've got depression, we've got anxiety, we're hating everything and everything's making us miserable and we just can't see a way out. We go to this person that's going to help us. We sit there. What's the matter? When I was a kid, I was sexually abused or had a car crash a few years ago and it's just replaying in my mind, or in my case personally, when my dad died, and it's just there in my head, so on and so on. Okay, how does that make you feel? Well, shit. Now you're going to feel shit because you've just told yourself that image means feeling shit. So now it's brought up the image, it's brought up that emotion. Okay. What else is bad in your life? Oh, well, in a crap relationship, I hate my job, I've got no money. Next door neighbour's just showing up with a brand new sports car and I really want one, but I can't get it. I don't know how to do it, I can't achieve that. And you've got that. I mean, I've just spoke about that for what? Less than 30 seconds. And I feel bloody miserable and I was literally just making it up from things I've heard from my clients, you know. Which again is fine, as long as you're going to get a solution. No, okay, so now that's the end of your hour. See you next week. Where's it got you? How closer now are you to be than you was before? You understood at this canyon you've got to cross, because there's A, there's B. Where's this bridge? It hasn't even started to be built yet. Is it going to be built? Okay, we'll go next session, we'll find out. Okay, so last week we went through the abuse, the car crash, whatever it may be. Tell me about it again. Oh, me. So now you've got to go through it all again. And then again, and again, and again. What happens eventually is if you go enough times and you talk about it enough times, the brain will shut it out. But like I say, it is like having a big gaping wound on your arm that's pulled open, right? Horrible looking, shit-filled wound on your arm. And all we've done each session is stick a bandage on, we'll stick a bandage on, we'll stick a bandage on, we'll stick a bandage on. Now, you've got that many bandages on your arm, you can't see the wound. You can't really feel the wound because it's now got that much pressure on top of it, it's just holding it down. What about when them bandages fall off? What about when you're sitting at home and you flick it through the TV and there's a medical programme come on, there's a smashed up car. Bang, that image comes straight up of you in that car crash. Now that bandage has just gone and that wound is right there again, screaming at you now in pain. Because that's what it is, pain. I don't believe talking helps at all. And here's the reason why. As I mentioned before, labels are for other people, words are for other people. Your brain works in pictures and colours and algorithms, right? I help people with trauma. I help people with PTSD and they get over their PTSD. I will always have the memory of the event, but what happens is those feelings and emotions of pain, shame, guilt, anger, frustration, whatever it may be, are linked to that image. That image comes up, you get those emotions. You're reliving it. My method is to change that image. Change the image, the emotion goes. Because all memories are lies anyway. I say to people, the image that haunted me about my dad dying didn't happen. Not in the way. It had picked out bits of that evening when we brought him home when he died, and it turned it into this movie that was utter bullshit, really. But it was only when I was looking at it through a different set of eyes, a different perspective, did I realise that. When it was coming up every day, and I was driving a van, when I was going to sleep at night, whatever it was there, and it was as fresh 6 years later, longer than that even, 8 years. It was still as fresh then as it was a couple of weeks after the event happened, maybe even a couple of days. Now your brain's trying to protect you. It's in burnout mode. It's gone. Okay, we don't want to be in that situation again, so we're going to protect you from anything that may lead you up to that. Say it's a car crash. Some people can't even look at a car now without being scared. Because if you're scared of it, you're not going to go near it. If you don't go in it, there's no chance of you even being in a car crash, is there? The brain's done a good job. The only thing is, it's done a good job badly. We need to correct that. We need to do that response. You know, okay, you get in a car, you may have another accident. However, it can't stop you because you might go out another 10,000 times before that happens. You might never have an accident again. Who knows what will happen? But we can't let the what ifs stop us like that. So what I do is basically I don't talk about it therapy. And when someone comes on a consultation with me, everyone sort of seems to be programmed to talk about the problems. And a lot of people, especially men, are attracted to what I do because they haven't got to tell me about it. And again, women as well. Because maybe they've been sexually assaulted by a man in their family, or maybe it was a stranger. Now they've got this sort of fear of men, maybe. So is a man going to help them get over this? Because I'm not. I am a tool that will help you get from A to B. And when they come on a consultation, as I say, they're automatically programmed in the head to just spill out. I don't want that. So I say to them, look, you can tell me as much as you want. Obviously, I already know roughly what we're going for here. I feel depressed, I've got PTSD, I had suffered a trauma. So I know where we're going with this, but I don't need to know details. I just need to know the frame. Okay, what do you want help with? Oh, we had a traumatic event happen when I was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever. A few weeks ago. Okay, you can tell me as much or little as you want. I don't need to know any details. I don't need to know. Words are for other people. I don't need you to tell me what's happened. Just, I've got enough information already. I just need to ask you a few questions, just really to see if you're suitable for the programme and if it's something that you want to take part in. All of a sudden, you see their whole attitude change. I haven't got to talk about it. Now we talk about something else. We're still talking about the problem, but we're not talking about the issue. We're not talking about that image. I don't want that to come up. The only time I want that to rear its head again is just before we alter it. And my God, after, I have heard some horrific stories. And a lot of people think, oh, you must see a lot of soldiers. No. I'll tell you why I don't see a lot of soldiers. A lot of people think you only get PTSD from violence and that. So people in these situations, in the army, police force, fire service, and whatever else, they get together to make their own groups. Okay, brilliant. Your own tribe, your own community. Brilliant. And they turn it into something that suits them. So, comedy. I imagine if you, as somebody who's not a fireman or not a policeman or not a bouncer on a door or whatever, even the people who work in the men and women that work in the call centres, I bet that's a horrible job. Because that is literally, you pick the phone up and you know that person on the other end is in distress. Whether they want an ambulance, fire service, paramedic, police, whatever, excuse me, they're going to be in distress. And as soon as they put that there, now they're absorbing that stress. That must be a horrible job. And if you do that job, my God, thank you. Because I couldn't do it. Same as people who work in care homes, nurses. Thank you. I couldn't do it. But all these people are absorbing other people's crap and the stress of the job and all this other. So I bet they turn it into something. And as I say, if you walk into a nurse's station, into a fire station, police station, and these are together, and you're an outsider to that, I bet some of the conversations they're laughing about could be shocking. But they're turning it into something that they can cope with. Because they have to. Because I've seen what happens when they don't. And I have seen soldiers that have seen some horrific things. the main issue I see for PTSD for men and women is childbirth, because it can turn from the happiest time of their life to a complete nightmare like that, and that fills their stress bucket up, just drops a load of shit in and it's gone, it's overflown. Now it's a whole life of, oh, I shouldn't have left the kid, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done that, what did I do wrong, No. We need to now reprogram your brain to let that go. But talking about it will only ever bring up those emotions, those horrible, hurtful emotions. And a lot of the times the issue's never the issue. No, why are you depressed? Job shit, life shit, work shit, got no money, car shit, family shit. So what's shit about them? Fucking hell, here we go again. Now you're just focusing on that. My next question to that is, see, my talk part happens after we've got rid of the emotions that need to be got rid of. Now we start finding solutions. Now we start reframing things. We start asking the right questions. I start asking questions that get you to ask yourself questions. The right questions. So instead of focusing on, I'm skint, I've got no money. Why have you got no money? I've got a gambling addiction, I've got a drug addiction. I drink 200 odd quid's worth of beer a week. What's causing you to do that? Instead of that shit, that doesn't work, right? And all it'll do is make you depress you more. Okay. So why have you got no money? Oh, I've got gambling addiction. I drink too much. Okay, when you're doing these things, what are you getting out of it? Makes me happy. Okay, so what other things could you do to be happy? And then we go on like that, and sometimes I've had clients that have come to me and they'll be like, so what's going on then? And they'll be like, depressed, life shit. Okay, so if you could do anything in the world, anything, what would you want to be? I don't know. Absolutely anything. What do you want it to be? Astronaut, brilliant. Right, okay, so you're an astronaut. What does that mean for you? All of a sudden you'll see him go, taking me seriously. Right, okay. I don't know. I guess I'll be rich. Oh, rich, brilliant. What does rich mean to you? Do what I want because I've got lots of money, so I can go and get the nice things I want. So give me the label for that. Financially stable. There we go. Now we're on the right path. Focusing on why somebody's got depression will only make them more depressed. Focusing on what you can do to get you out of it, that, my friends, is the difference. And you don't have to talk about the shit in your life. You don't have to talk about the hurt, the pain, the shame, the guilt, the frustration. You don't have to put yourself through weeks and months and years of crap therapy that doesn't work because it's making you miserable. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I shall see you again in another video, and I'd love it if you stick around and watch another one. And if you want to have a chat, just jump on my website, let's have a chat, book in a consultation. Have a great day, whatever it is you're doing. And remember, make those changes, because if you don't change, nothing will ever change. I'm Chris Harrison, Mindset Self-Care Focus Therapy. Take care now. Bye-bye.